Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the She for Her podcast for Kanyathon 2023, where we interview women from accomplished fields to inspire people and also to promote Kanyathon 2023. Now, today we have with us a very dynamic guest. Now, her name is Shrisha, and she is a food blogger who's following her passion and now has made it into a full-time job. She is a graduate of architecture from Acharya Institute, if I'm not wrong, and she covers a lot of cafes and restaurants in and across Bangalore, and she's covered over 500 different restaurants in Bangalore. That's a big number. And yeah, welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, so before we begin, I want to know, what is your story? How did you start food blogging, and what motivated you to get into this field?
So I think it actually started for fun, right? Everybody wants to start an Instagram page of what we like to do. So me and my friend started this page initially because we used to travel to a lot of places, a lot of new restaurants that come up in Bangalore, and before even reels, we had this page.
Nice.
So that when we started exploring, we wanted to document that. So that's when we started this page, and then we realized, okay, something we can gain out of this, and slowly we started developing. There were people who genuinely followed us for what we are putting up. And later, me and my friend had some disputes, so we had to split. But now even he has a food page and I have a food page. So both of us are running very successfully in Bangalore. It's been 3 years and it's a wonderful journey.
Nice. You mentioned about how you started it. It just started out of a small passion and things like that. And yeah, so what pushes you every day to do food blogging, and how did you manage to turn this small passion of yours into a full-time profession? Because things like this is now coming into the forefront now, but then you started way back when all this was considered a hobby, right? So
correct. Like you said, it was considered as a hobby before, and it's still my hobby. I won't consider this as my full-time profession because I'm an architect by profession, but this is something that makes me happy. Food makes me happy.
Yeah.
I mean, food makes all of us happy, right?
Yes.
So when I started exploring, I felt, I'm benefiting some more people. And when people come to me and say, I went to this place because I saw your post and I really liked what you recommended, I think that's something that pushes me to do more every day. So all that feedbacks I get and all this good comments that I get from my followers, I think that's more than what I want.
Nice. So this is just so cool to understand this. But now we are in a tier 1 city. I mean, we are in a metro city, Bangalore, and this you can follow all this, right? But what advice would you give someone who is starting out, maybe in a tier 2 city or a tier 3 town or a village, right? I mean, there we have a population of over 1.4 billion, so there are people who want to do this, and now with the advent of social media and internet, this is coming into the mainstream. So do you have what recommendations would you give someone who's just starting out in, say, a small village in some far-flung corner of India?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question actually, because I think I had the privilege to stay in such a good metropolitan city, and that's why I could go beyond than what I expected. But people who still remain in tier 2 or tier 3 city, like you said, is a little difficult to start off. But once they do and they really understand how the terms go, and once they find the passion in themselves, I think if they push their uttermost best, they can get anywhere. Sky is the limit, they say. So anywhere you are, but of course in cities like that where technology is a little low, we don't get everything in one click like how we get it here. It's going to be a little difficult, but I think with good sources, with good help and management, maybe people can get into this stage. I mean, anybody can, but there it's a little more difficult. But if they put in that one effort and that the willingness to do it, I think anybody can achieve it.
Nice. So you guys still have a chance. You don't have to worry about that. And this is such a dynamic field where days are very busy or days are very free. I'm just making an assumption. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So how would you incorporate your daily fitness or just staying active during days like this, right? Because you could have days where you are working from 9 to 9, but then there are days where you just have maybe one post to put and things like that. So how do you incorporate a certain amount of fitness in your life to stay healthy?
And I think this is a very on the point question. Because like cinema and all, it's not like that. This is very practical. The question is very practical, because once I finished my architectural course and I had to join a full-time job. Managing a full-time job and actually chasing your career and chasing your passion is very, very difficult, because they want you to put more than 100%, like 110% in your job. And if they know that something you're into something that's interesting you more, they think that you have interest in what you do less, which is not the way we want to put it. But then once you figure out how your 9 to 5 works, like what to eat, how your day goes, like you plan for the day, what to eat in the morning, when you're going out, because all these food blogging that we talk about, we plan in advance. It's not like, I'm going to go here today, I'm going to shoot this. No. Because at this profession, when it comes to a professional level, you actually plan out things. You have a date, a venue, a time of when you're going where. So say, and there are times where, Monday to Friday I worked, and Saturday, Sunday was the only 2 days I had off. And obviously I want to show you guys more places. So I had to cover 4-5 restaurants in a day, which, seems insane, because how much can a person eat and eat unhealthy food? So that was something, it was a very big challenge. Initially, I was like, okay, chalo yaar, let's just go and, let's shoot everything. But we were not able to eat, and I couldn't even enjoy the food. That's when I realized health is going on a toss. So I don't want to do that. Let me let me post one post a day. Let people see where I'm going, but I want to do it genuinely, and I'm going to post whatever I like genuinely. Just because somebody, like, people say you're getting paid, that's why you're posting about it. Nothing like that. It's only when we genuinely like it and we want to post it, we do. And about the health, yes, it was very bad initially, because even I was in the starting of food blogging, and I did not know how to manage my routine, and I did not know how to schedule my times, what to eat first and what to eat in the end, and I was always feeling full. But now I know how much to eat where, and how you have to be like you're tasting it, yes, and you have to review with the tasting itself. So it comes with a journey. You learn it face by face. You can't learn it in a day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, that's so cool to know that you have a fitness like regime, and you've probably smashed the myth stating that where everyone thinks that food bloggers just eat all day long and don't plan. I think you've smashed that. Now, coming to things like Kanyathon, I wanted to ask you, how can we use Kanyathon as a platform to maybe help the girl child, and also make people aware in such smaller places that professions like these exist, just to show them the opportunities of the world and how vast the world can be. So what ideas do you have that we could probably do to promote a very holistic worldview to them, so that the efforts that we are putting through Kanyathon are more reachable and which have more impact to their lives?
Correct. That's a very, again, a very practical question that you're asking, because we just think that, we are having, end of the day, I have shelter, I have food, I have water, and I just care about myself. People become greedy of that, and they don't think about others. But there are people who still seek for help, and they don't know what to do. So when I was working in an NGO, like I mentioned, we used to mentor them in such a way that they are aware of such fields. So I think Kanyathon is a very great platform for women, children, and I'm really, as a girl child, it's really empowering for us, because you're going to motivate and get more girl children to understand how the world looks like, and that's a very, very important thing in today's world. And some suggestions, like we just have to spread awareness. They have to know that there is more than what they actually have, and to do that we have to find where they are first, because in tier 2 and tier 1 there are still backward people, like the parents don't want girl children to have education and stuff like that. But I think if we break that myth and actually make them understand there are fields like this where you can excel. You don't have to study so much. If you can't spend on education, you can follow your passion, and once you find out that your passion works for you, you can reach heights. There was an Instagram profile where a girl, I think she's from a tier 2 or tier 3 city, and she used to shoot videos of her shooting brands like Maggie and all that. See, Maggie is a huge brand, not like they reached out to her, but she wanted to show her photography skills, and even though she didn't have a very good camera, people followed her because the way she thought how to take transition shots was wonderful. And with that, I saw the same girl growing with me. Even when I started off, I probably had like 1,000 followers, and now it's just 80k. It's going to get 100k. The girl, she started with nothing, and now she has more than 100k followers. And I think she's bought a new MI phone or something like that, and she's shooting videos with that. I was so happy to see. And so it's not like all these very rich looking or it's very brand established video. It's a very simple, she shoots it at her home. We really know what's around the place, but it's excellent. So people follow you for the work you do, not just that you live you're not up to the mark or something like that. If you have the talent and if you can showcase it the right way, I think people will find you. So social media would be a huge platform to show people to show their passion that way.
This is like wonderful to show that people in tier 2 and tier 3 cities are doing this, right? And you also like mentioned it's a girl, so I think our efforts of Kanyathon will become a lot faster, and it'll be more impactful considering the areas we do this in, right? So we have adopted over like 5 villages, and we we give them computer education and English speaking skills, and probably showing them examples like this will help them understand a broader worldview of how things are happening. I think this is a wonderful way of doing things, and which will help Kanyathon 2023 to become a successful one. Now also I want to ask you, what do you have to tell the parents of just every child that's out there, not just people in cities or in towns or even in villages? Because end of the day, parents will still have that mindset saying, do engineering, do BCom, do this, get a job, do that. Or if you're in a slightly small backward area, they could ask you to get married if you're a girl child. I'm sorry to say this, but this sometimes happens, and I have heard stories about this. But now things are changing thanks to stuff that we're doing here at Kanyathon and how we are impacting lives, and people are becoming really progressive even in the smaller places. But doing things like this, doing food blogging and shooting videos and making content on social media, it still has that certain amount of doubt, simply because of how things can change and how dynamic the algorithm is, right?
Yes.
So what advice do you have for parents, especially who have kids anywhere in the country who want to do things like this?
First thing, I'll talk about the dynamic thing, because you can never predict social media. That's number one. And even if you're like a big shot on Instagram, you never know when you're going to fail. I mean, people, I don't know when they're going to like you, when they're going to dislike you, when they're going to like your content, and when they're going to trash you. So that thing is never promised. Whereas like your parents suggest, do your BCom or do your engineering, go for this job, you will have the annual income, it's fixed, the income is fixed. So only thing the parents worry about is, I know ki my child is in the right position, so they only worry about that. Whereas social media is such a platform that you don't know, and you can't predict how much you earn per month. It could be a lot, it could be nothing. And you don't know the type of response you'll get for every post or anything that you post. I mean, put it forward through social platforms. So it's like you can't predict, and when you can't do that, people can't believe you completely on are you doing the right thing? Do you think that's okay? Because only when you're the superstar, people are going to praise you. But once one of your movie flops, and people are just going to like, no, I'm not going to watch that anymore, right? So parents have their own choices, but only thing in this generation is what I can say, people have more than just that 9-to-5 job, and I think people can showcase their talents beyond that 9-to-5 job. And even with having a 9-to-5 job, if they get the certain amount to show and showcase their talents, they can make good money anywhere.
Yeah.
So parents have to try to understand, or at least give them some time to make them realize, okay, show me what you can do. Give me. I know time frames work for some people and don't, but at least they should believe them that they have some other passion with themselves, which they should explore, and not stick to the whatever hierarchy we've been following from the all the years now.
That's wonderful to hear. So, do you have any closing remarks or anything that you'd like to tell people, especially how things are going forward and how we're using this event of Kanyathon to support the girl child, help the girl child grow, and make them empowered, and just make their places a much better place to live? Do you have any message to people there and things like that?
Actually, I'm very thankful that you guys have done so much, and Kanyathon is like, a dream for any girl child. And like I said, being a girl, it's so empowering, and knowing that I can help more than 4 or 5 girl children from myself, it's like, there's, what can I ask for? Like, that's something extreme, and we're really happy that you guys are helping girl children, and not keeping it limited, showing them that sky is the limit, and you can go beyond that and explore, show them all the options that they have in life. And even passion is something that they can explore. It's not just the formal education. So I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm really happy to be here, and being a part of this journey makes me so happy. This is going to be like cherished my entire life, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming and doing this with us. And we have come to the end of the third episode of the She for Her podcast of Kanyathon 2023, where we conduct a charity run to save the girl child. Ma'am, we would like to have a few closing remarks.
So please do support this cause of saving a girl child. Kanyathon 2023 is happening on 12th March, and I want all of you guys to participate and be there for her. Thank you.